Well, you're almost to the finish line as far as game prep. How do you feel?
I like where we're at right now. Way better than last year.
Right.
This time last year, this would have been our second practice. Getting ready. So we're healthy. We practice for them. We don't have any excuses this year. Good Army team, but I like where we're at right now. Still got a couple more days of preparation.
Coach, we heard you saying something about putting your music on. I don't know what you were talking about, but how much is there an effort this week to make sure that kids stay in their normal routines? How much do you kind of try to normalize all of the things around this game?
I've been in this game for so long that you have to play the game between the white lines, but people get nervous in this game. You can try all you want. It's just a game. But guys, everybody's eyes will be like this in the game. It's just the way it is. And so just trying to create an atmosphere to get our guys ready for that. Just realizing it's going to be a chaotic, frenzied atmosphere, unlike any other game that they've played in. The guys that have played in it will understand. The guys who haven't, it's unlike anything. So you try your best to prepare for it, but it's hard. It's hard for us to simulate the game atmosphere.
How much do you lean on those guys that who've done it before to really take kids like one-on-one maybe and just say?
I've leaned on really guys. Really, the guy that made me change my whole approach to this was Keenan Reynolds. When he told me he was nervous, most nervous he's ever been in this game. He was the coolest player that I've ever been around. And when he told me he was nervous, then it made you realize you have to practice for that. But the football part is still the football part. But you got to try to make the atmosphere as chaotic as you can do.
Hence the game noise.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's off.
It's awfully loud.
I hear the things ringing in my ears going home, but it's. Yeah.
Do you get nervous?
Oh yeah,
Still?
yeah, it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I tell people when I stop getting nervous that I need to retire and go back to Hawaii and break leaves. I still get nervous my 20th game, which never changes. And then people ask because you lost last year, you might want to win more. When we're winning every game, you want to win. It never changes. Your degree to want to win this game, there's no added motivation. It's Army. And when you play Army, that's all you need to know. They're our rivals.
Well, that's the mantra all year long, right? Regardless of whether you win or lose, beat Army.
Even more so all year long, it's the first thing they learn when they come here. There's not many things you can say as a freshman. Go Navy, beat Army is one of the few things you can't say. And so it's ingrained very, very early in their indoctrination here at the academy.
Now, if you lose one game out of every 9, you still catch a lot of grief from fans. You've got a pretty good winning percentage.
I don't really worry about that. I just don't like to lose, especially to them. So I don't read the fan stuff. You just get pissed off losing to them. But our preparation is for this team. This is a really good 2017 Army game, and I like our preparation.
Speaking of Hawaii, did that wonderful woman that makes your lay for you come through again? Is she?
Actually, she passed away a couple years.
No.
She has other family members are making it. So
the tradition's continuing, but with
relatives.
Okay.
I was going to kind of ask something along the same lines. I'm sure Wags knows, but do you guys have any team traditions like leading up to this week? I know the guys were kind of telling me that the next 2 days, it almost reminds them of camp again, being back in summer. They're just around each other all the time.
Yeah, we try to stay together. I don't know if there's tradition stuff, but
the same hotel. When you go to Philly, you have a pretty set routine, right?
Same hotel, same room. So I always feel comfortable going back there. We have a Friday night meeting prior to the game, which is kind of traditional, where the players talk about what this game means. But practices are pretty similar.
Who gets to talk about it? Everybody talks about what the game means?
We allow the seniors or anybody else. It starts with the seniors, but if Zach or Malcolm want to say anything, I wouldn't tell them to sit down. Or a younger, a younger player that plays a lot. If Sean Williams wants to say something, more power to him.
Have you scripted a pregame speech?
No, I never really know what to say. I don't really need to say anything. All of my stuff is during the week. At game day, I don't really have to say anything. By then, hopefully you're ready. If I need to do some kind of dance or come out with the sword on fire or something like that, we're in trouble anyway. Hopefully they don't need that motivation.
might come from your gut though. So you say you always go from your gut.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't really know what I'm going to say. Sometimes they kind of look at me like, "What? That didn't make sense." And sometimes
You're like,
like,
"Okay, let's
"Yeah."
go."
Sometimes like, "Oh, you can't keep going."
Weather could be a factor. Do you even talk about that, or do you just wait to see what
Oh
comes?
no, you got to prepare for it. So we'll see. One thing, one of the 900 ones I got from Strassmeyer, it's good.
There's
Then
a
it's
weather
bad.
report, right? Yeah.
Well, I just joke with it. I actually look at it a lot. You know what I mean? So I wait to see all that stuff.
There could be precipitation.
Yeah, so you got to prepare for it.
One last, in this game, how much talk is there between players? How much junk? I guess.
They talk. I mean, they're kids. They're human, and so there's some talking going on. Maybe not to the extent of some others, but there's talk going on.
Yeah, because you get the idea. You almost set these guys up on a pedestal, but in the end, they're still football players.
Oh, yeah. And they're emotional, and they're human, and you want to win. So there's trash talking going on.
All right, we wanted to talk about your two senior corners, Tyrus Wooten and Elijah Merchant. Why don't we take them one at a time? What can you tell us about Tyrus, the type of guy he is, etc.?
Tyrus is the strong, silent type. Right, he's the quiet guy in the room, but does not mean he's a quiet guy. But whenever he talks, it's always meaningful. It's always about something. He's probably one of the best athletes I've ever been around. Either side of the ball, can do whatever you need to do, and prototypical NFL type caliber guy if given the opportunity. So he's a great guy to be.
I was talking to Coach Pearson at some point a few weeks ago, and he was mentioning that in playing this man-to-man coverage that you all play, Tyrus is one guy that seems to be cut out for it, and his numbers are there. He had 10 pass breakups last year. This year he has 11. He's been pretty good in coverage, I think.
Awesome. If you look back at the games he's been in and played, he's shut down the best receiver on the other team. I mean, probably, they didn't throw his side, so he didn't get a lot of work.
Right, I noticed that. They're not going at him a lot.
They're not going at him at all, and he's really shut down a guy. And I think it really happened in the Tulsa game when he shut down one of the biggest playmakers.
The Hobbs kid.
Hobbs kid.
Yeah.
He's an NFL pro type guy. So Wood can play with anybody. In our league, in our conference.
Right.
It's a big ball.
What about Elijah? What can you say about him? What type of kid is he?
Now Elijah is our leader. He's the group leader. He's the guy who makes us go. Okay, like I say all the time, coaches, it's Coach Neil Montalolo's program, but the seniors run it, and Elijah's one of the seniors that runs the team in his senior year. So awesome to have around, a great leadership. He comes to work every day, no matter what, whether he's ill or not. He comes to work every single day.
So do they kind of play well off each other? Are they different in style and personality?
They're good friends, and it's like bosom buddies. One is the outgoing type, as Elijah. Wood is a silent guy, but in the locker room, it's bosom buddies down there. So yes, they do play off each other. Elijah understands who he is. He's the tougher, the hard nose, the stick his nose in that kind of guy. And Wood is the cover guy, and will come apart when he has to. But definitely a great duo to have in our defensive back.
So when Coach Nehemiah talked about playing more man-to-man coverage in a league which is known for great passing offenses, great receivers and quarterbacks, there was pressure on your group to respond. I mean, and I know there's been good times and bad times, but overall, can you talk about that, what they asked you to do?
Yeah, so I know every position will say the same thing, but I am of the opinion that if the cornerbacks play well, we have a chance to win. If the cornerbacks play great, we will win the game. For what we're trying to do, lock down the outside so Coach Pearson can pull out his array of calls if the cornerbacks are playing well. We've proven that time and time when we can come out and play well, we give our team a chance to win. And so there's a great amount of pressure on our guys because we have to be perfect. Playing 90 great plays, all right, in the 91st play, we screw something up, all right, and there goes the game. So we have to be dialed in every game, every play, every snap.
So being a fairly young coach yourself, I mean, this is kind of your first little graduation class, if you will, Wooten and Merchant. I mean, is it guys you've worked with here a couple of years? Are you proud of the two of them? And what about them just as guys beyond the football field? Do you feel like they got good men there?
Yeah, extremely proud of these guys. When I first got here, these guys were my first NAPS class. So they were at NAPS when I first arrived here as a Marine. And so I've gotten a chance to see them mature through the NAPS process. Come here and play 4 solid years of football, and now they're leaders of the team, and then they're going off to do great things beyond football. And so extremely proud to see them grow in their maturity, and the things that they're doing off the field are most impressive. And that all, manifests itself on the field with their play. So I'm very proud of this class. Look forward to their graduation and look forward to great things to come after this.
And last but not least, in terms of, against the American Athletic Conference, you guys are constantly in coverage and dropping back, and this is a little bit different game. How do the corners still have a very important role? Do they play more of a run support role? I mean, how are things different for the two corners in a game like this?
As you know, in playing Osprey teams, right, it's a lull, right? It's run, and then a big pass, all right?
Right.
And so our guys have to be extremely focused on preventing the big play, all right? They make Army march down the field, 2-3 yards at a time, right? And
Don't let them throw it over
Don't let them throw it over the top. Right? So yes, the corners are extremely important in this one because our guys are the ones that are stopping all the cracking goals, the stuttering goals, all those big pass plays, the reverses, and all that kind of stuff. So on the perimeter, which is where we are, we got to protect the perimeter and also protect the big play. We can do that, and we'll give our team a great chance to win.
All right, thank you. What led you to the Naval Academy?
Well, my parents were both in the Navy.
Oh, they were?
Oh, so yes, sir. So when I first got the offer, I kind of talked to them to see what they wanted to do. They said it's a good opportunity, so decided to join the football program. I heard it was a good football program.
Were they career Navy? Did they spend a lot of time in the Navy, or were they out by the time you got to high school? What's your recollection?
I don't have much recollection of them being in there. They only been in for about 5 or 6 years, so when I was little, they got out.
Right. But the bottom line, with their Navy experiences, are they really proud of you coming to the Naval Academy? You're going to graduate from this place and be an officer?
The whole family is proud of me. I mean, this is a big step in my life.
Right.
Becoming an officer, and they're proud that I'm representing my country.
So now I know you were recruited as a wide receiver, and I think it was your sophomore year in the spring that they made the switch. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What did you think of that? I think we talked about it back at the time, but remind me your thoughts on making the switch from receiver to corner. Were you disappointed, or did you figure, hey, they got a need here and they're looking at me, so that means they like my ability?
No, I loved it because I played a little bit of DB in high school, and at NAS I wanted to be a DB. So once I got the opportunity here, to full control of it. So I loved it.
How have you improved as a defensive back? I'm sure it was a learning curve at this level to learn how to play corner, but now you're 2.5 years into it, and obviously you're at the top of your game now. How do you feel you've improved?
It was a little difficult getting into it when I first started, because going from high school to college is way different receivers you got to go against. But just coming out here and working on my technique every day, just talking to coach, see what I got to work on, stuff like that, just improved me slowly but gradually.
Right. Now this year you've been asked to cover some really good receivers. I think you covered the Hobbs kid at Tulsa, and I don't know which of the Houston boys you got matched up against, or Memphis, but you've covered some good guys. Who did you play against Memphis? Which of those? Miller? Did you cover Miller?
I covered Miller, other good receiver, number 89. So we have a good challenge in this conference. I love it.
Right. I mean, do you enjoy? I mean, most people would be like, these teams that throw the ball so much and have these NFL caliber receivers. I don't know that I would like that, but I mean,
no, you just take it as a challenge. So if you lock them down, you feel like you can lock anybody down.
Right. What this year being asked to play more one-on-one coverage, that's a little bit different. In the years past, a lot more zone. What did you think of that? That's another challenge that the coaching staff.
I took it as another challenge. I feel like the coaches had confidence in me to do that. So knowing that the coaches had enough confidence in me to play one-on-one, took it as a full challenge, took advantage of it.
So what about this guy, Elijah Merchant? I mean, I don't know how well you knew him before you switched to corner, but obviously now that you've been in the room together for a while, you've probably gotten to be pretty close. What do you think of that guy?
He's a good guy. I didn't know him much when I was a receiver, but coming over to DB, learn more about him. Good guy, good cover guy. Love to be with him.
Coach said you're the strong, silent type is how he described you. Why would he say that? You seem outgoing enough to me.
I just like to lead by example. When Merchant is more vocal, I like to lead by example. So this is what I do.
So what's next for Tyrus Wooten? What are you going on to do?
Surface warfare. Hopefully get stationed out there in San Diego.
That's what you'd
do
like
some
to
great
be?
things, yes sir.
Well, I'll ask you the same question, and obviously I know Emmett was here. How big of a factor was the fact that your brother graduated from here? I always forget, what is he, like 3 years older than you?
He graduated in 11.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, so he's a lot older than you.
Yeah.
I mean,
quite a bit.
what's your memories of coming here to see him play? Do you remember coming to games and all when you were a younger guy?
I remember the Ohio State game. That stuck out to me. I remember
The one in Baltimore?
I don't know
where was it at
they
Ohio
played.
State? Right. Okay. Because they played him twice. Right?
Yeah, they did. It was the one where he got an interception, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Columbus?
was in
Okay,
Columbus,
yeah. Okay, so it was in Ohio State. I remember seeing that because playing against Ohio State, that's just like crazy. You know, that's a big name team. So being younger, seeing my brother prevail on a big stage like that was unbelievable. So yeah, like that played a big role into me coming here.
Right. Well, what did Emmett tell you about coming here? I mean, I'm sure he told you the truth about what it's like, and it's not for everybody, and I'm sure he was pretty straight up honest with you, right?
Yeah, so when I was getting recruited, he was like heavily into it. Like him and my dad, they talked to me a lot about just like everything about the Naval Academy. He tried to convince me that like this was the best fit for me, and you know, I know he had his trials and tribulations going through here and his rough patches. So he just basically just tried to be that older brother and just basically say like, you know, you might not want to do it, but it's the best choice for you.
Right. So, I mean, coming in, and I know that your dad played at Georgia Tech. And are you all? I seem to recall when I talked to Emmett. Are you guys from Atlanta originally, but then moved to Houston, or where?
Yeah, so I was born in Georgia.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
I lived in Georgia all the way up until my 8th grade year, and then I moved to Texas.
Right. Is your job? Dad took a job or something?
I just moved from my mom's house to my dad's house.
Okay, gotcha. So coming in here and just talk about what it's been like. I mean, it's hard to believe senior year, looking back 4 years. Has it all been a whirlwind, or has it been a long journey?
Honestly, it's flown by. Like I can't believe it. My mom calls me every day and just be like, "Can't believe that you're a senior," and I'm like, "Neither can I." So I mean, I can't believe that they're gonna let me graduate from this place and let me lead people. That's crazy. Like in a few months. So yeah, it's coming at me fast. I mean, it's 2 more games left in the season. That's even going by fast.
Right. So obviously, I mean, you probably at one point as a freshman were in there with like 15 corners and thinking, how am I ever going to climb this depth chart? But you became a starter and have played quite a bit over your course of your career. Is it pretty rewarding?
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you come in here as a freshman, it is one of those things where we have a big team, so you kind of get overshadowed and look like you could get down on yourself because not too many freshmen do play.
And it seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, right?
It can be like that sometimes, but I mean, for me, I had my older brother, and you know, he just told me to trust the process. I had some of the older guys, Quincy, like leaders like Brendan Clements, Quincy Adams, Brendan Clements, that you know just talk to me all the time. That you know tell me to stay the course. You know, they got me to the point to where I'm at right now. So I really looked up to those people, and I actually enjoyed being underneath them, just trying to learn as much as I can, absorb as much as I can while they still were here.
Right. So I was talking to Tyrus about the going to man-to-man coverage this year. There was a lot of pressure put on the corners to be out there on an island. It's not easy, especially in this league with so many great passing offenses and receivers. What's it been like, and is that a challenge you took on?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a challenge. You've seen my low moments at Temple, but then we had some high moments. So, yeah, it comes with the territory. And like I said, my brother is a mentor to me, and we talk at least twice a week. So, you know, he gets to me and says, you know, as a corner, you have to have a short memory. So that's kind of something that I've like took into this season, knowing that there might be a rough game, might be a Temple game that you want to forget about. But you know, you got to keep playing through it. You can't get down on yourself, and especially as a corner one-on-one, you just got to have faith in yourself and believe in yourself because, I mean, you're out there by yourself. So.
All right. What about your relationship with Tyrus? Because obviously 2 senior corners, and you know, I'm guessing that you guys have gotten to know pretty well. What's your relationship with him, and what do you think of him?
Yeah, you know, Tyrus became one of my best friends on the team right now, and so I mean, we grew together. I mean, even last year grew like rooming together and just hanging out, being around each other, trying to feed off each other in the summer times, working with each other, trying to get each other better. So we grew together as some close friends.
Right. So what are you going to do when you graduate?
I'm surface warfare as well.
Right. And do you have any preference of where you'd like to be?
I prefer to be in Virginia. I know that doesn't sound too appealing, but like
Norfolk area?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Norfolk.
Okay.